Hello, welcome to Digital Signal Processing online lecture series. Myself Rima Rawal from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this session, we are going to start the unit Filter Design Techniques. In this unit, we are going to see different designing techniques for two different filters. First one is IIR filters and the second one is FIR filters. Here IIR stands for Infinite Impulse Response and FIR stands for Finite Impulse Response. In this we will see different methods of designing FIR and IIR filters and we will see each of them in detail using examples. In today's session we are going to see the topic designing of filters and its examples. So let's start with that. So there are basically three methods of designing IIR filters. The first one is impulse invariance method. Second one is bilinear transformation method, that is also called as BLT method. And the third one is approximation of derivatives. Here we are starting with the first method, that is impulse invariance method. So there are basically three steps of designing a filter using impulse invariance method. The first step is expand H of S using partial fraction if required. Second, obtain Z transform of each PFE term, that is partial fraction expansion term, using impulse invariance transformation equation. Step 3 is to obtain H of Z, which is required digital IIR filter. So these are the three steps using which we can design IIR filter based on impulse invariance method. So these are the basic three formulas which we can use for designing filters using impulse invariance method according to the criteria or according to the form of equation given to us. If the data is given in the form of 1 upon S minus some constant, that is 1 upon S minus A or 1 upon S minus 2, likewise. So we will use the first formula given over here, that is 1 upon S minus Pk. If the data is given in form of this, we will use the second formula, and another variant is the third case. If 1 upon S minus Pk is there, using the bilinear transformation method, we will substitute by this 1 upon 1 minus e raised to Pk Ts into Z inverse, where Pk is the constant value given over here, Ts is the time period or symbol duration into Z inverse. So using this we can get the transfer function. If S plus A upon S plus A square plus B square is given, we will get H of Z transfer function using this, where the numerator part is 1 minus e raised to minus ATS into cos BTS into Z inverse divided by 1 minus 2 into e raised to minus ATS into cos BTS Z inverse plus e raised to minus 2ATS into Z raised to minus 2, where A and B are constant values given over here. The third case is that B upon S plus A square plus B square, where H of Z is obtained by this, where numerator is e raised to minus ATS into sin BTS into Z inverse divided by 1 minus 2 e raised to minus ATS into cos BTS Z inverse plus 2 e raised to minus 2 ATS into Z raised to minus 2. You need to remember these three formulas so it will be more easier for you to solve the given example. Here a and b are again constant values given in the h of s function. Now let us understand one example which will make this method clear to you. Here the data is to find out h of z using impulse invariance method at 5 Hz sampling frequency from h of s as given as h of s equals to 2 upon s plus 1 into s plus 2. Now here as you can see in the data, h of s is given to us where h of s is 2 upon s plus 1 into s plus 2. Here sampling frequency is also given. So sampling frequency fs is 5 Hz given to us. And we know that fs equals to 1 by ts. That means frequency and time period are inverse to each other. So getting 1 by 5 will get the value of sampling time. Now as you can see this function is terms of 1 upon denominator term having the poles individual. Using the partial fraction method we will have the addition term in between and we'll apply the formula to this. So here first of all, let us use partial fraction expansion method. So using PFE method, h of s equals to a upon s plus 1, that means the first pole, plus b upon s plus 2, that is the second pole. For obtaining the value of a, we will take a as s equals to minus 1. And for obtaining the value of b, we will take s equals to minus 2. When we will take s equals to minus 1, we will get the value of a 2. That means here if we will place that 2 upon minus 1 plus 2 because s plus 1 will be cancelled out for value of a. So this will give the value of a 2. Same way for b, we will take s equals to minus 2. So this will become 2 upon minus 2 plus 1 which will have the value b equals to minus 2. So here we have obtained the two values a equals to 2 and b equals to minus 2. Using these values which we have obtained, we will get the h of s that is equals to 2 upon s plus 1 minus 2 upon s plus 2. Here fs is 5 Hz given to us. So we will take ts that is equals to 1 by 5 that is equals to 0.2 second. So 1 upon s plus 1 will have 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus pk into ts where pk is minus 1. Because we have the formula in terms of 1 upon s minus something. Here it is plus 1. So we need to take this value as minus 1. So here it will have minus 1 into 0.2 into z inverse which will give 1 upon 1 minus 0.818 z inverse. Here 0.818 is the obtained value of e raised to minus 0.2 in the calculator. And now 1 upon s plus 2 is to be obtained in the same way. That is 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus 2 into 0.2 into z inverse. That will be equals to 1 upon 1 minus 0.67 z inverse. Here 0.67 is obtained value of e raised to minus 0.4 because here 2 into 0.2 is to be done. Now we are combining this to get h of z where h of z equals to 2 upon 1 minus 0.818 z inverse minus 2 upon 1 minus 0.67 z inverse. By cross multiplying these two terms and simplifying this, we will get h of z final value equals to 0.29 z upon z square minus 1.488 z plus 0.54. You can keep the term in terms of z inverse as well, or you can give it in terms of positive powers of z by simplifying it further. This is how you can obtain the transfer function h of z to design an IIR filter using impulse invariance method. The combination of any of such data can be done in your exams. So all you need to do is you need to remember these three cases, and according to these three cases, by comparing the data given to you, you can use any of this formula by placing the constant values in it. So do more practice of these examples, and I hope that this impulse invariance method is clear to you now. Let's consider one more example. Here the data is given as to determine h of z by using impulse invariance method if h of s equals to 10 upon s plus 2 and sampling time is 0.01 second. As sampling time is given to us as 0.01 second, we can directly substitute it. Using a pole transformation formula, here only one pole is there, that is -2. We can use this formula in this. Here 1 upon 1 minus e raised to pk ts into z inverse is to be obtained, where pk is to be used -2 and ts given to us is 0.01. So that will be equals to 1 upon 1 minus e raised to -2 into 0.01 into z inverse. So that will be equals to 1 upon 1 minus 0.98 z inverse. So the digital filter function over here is h of z, that is equals to 10 upon 1 minus 0.98 z inverse. By simplifying it in the terms of positive powers of z, it will become 10 into z upon z minus 0.98. You can make practice of such more examples for designing IIR filter using impulse invariance method. In the next session, we will continue with the rest of two methods, and also we will see the FIR filter designing techniques, which is referred to as the windowing technique. We will see the types of windowing techniques in detail in the next session and the functions for that. These are the references for this presentation. Thank you. Thank you for listening.